지금 졸업을 앞두고 앞으로 뭘 해야 할지 잘 보이지 않아 힘든 분들이 있다면 한번 여러분의 진심에 기대어 보세요. 지금은 조금 힘들어도 그 끝자락 어딘가엔 기회와 행운이 기다리고 있지 않을까요? 저는 그렇게 믿고 있습니다. 그리고 언젠가 여러분의 이야기도 들을 수 있기를 바랍니다.
Hi guys, my name is Kimberly, and I was hoping to get to share with you my story of how BTS taught me to love myself, speak myself, and how I feel like they saved my life. So April of 2008, my two oldest children's father. At the time I had a 7-month-old and was 4 months pregnant. Attempted to kill me, and I had been dealing with domestic violence from him for some months, and this was the first time he had tried to kill me and that I actually called the police. Over a course of 6 months that we lived together, I dealt with verbal abuse, mental abuse. The physical abuse started a little bit later. He would punch me in my stomach because I was pregnant, kick me in my stomach, burn me with cigarettes. He strangled me, chokeslammed my head through a wall. He would drag me around by my hair. He slashed the tires in my car. That really damaged my self-esteem. When he went to jail, I luckily had an advocate with the court. Because I was pregnant, he was arrested on 7 felony charges. So because he was away for a little time, I realized I didn't need him and just how bad my situation had gotten. But I was a damaged person. After I had my second daughter, it was like I wanted attention for some reason. I think I wanted to be loved because he would just always tell me that he had burned my breast with the cigarette because he didn't want another man to look at me and think I was pretty, and that way no other man would love me, and that kind of stuck with my head. And I would just meet men online. I mean, my self-esteem was extremely low at this point. And I ended up being raped. That was hard. I couldn't even tell anybody. I'd been in therapy at this point for like 2 years since I was pregnant with my second daughter, and my kids' dad had went to jail. I had started therapy shortly after. I never really went into detail about things. I was working a new job in 2012. At the end of 2012, I started a new job. I had invited a bunch of coworkers out for my birthday. It was December of 2012. And the only thing I remember is waking up extremely groggy and at somebody's house. I don't recall anything other than going home in my groggy state and finding out a month later that I was 4 weeks pregnant. Before I even found out I was pregnant, one of my male coworkers kept saying that I was pregnant with his kid, and I was like, no, never been with you. And I'm not a heavy drinker, so I feel like he put something in my drink, but I don't know, still to this day. After my daughter was born, he filed in court for the DNA test, and she was his, so I filed in court for date rape. And because I have no recollection, and at this point a year had passed, they just said they weren't going to do anything with it. That was hard to hear. I don't remember ever sleeping with him. I mean, at this point, the judge said it was hearsay. So that damaged me again. I met my husband, and even though my husband tells me every single day that I'm beautiful and he loves me, I didn't feel lovable, I guess you could say. I didn't feel pretty. Felt worthless. And then November of 2018, my world came crashing down again. My mom, because she did not like my youngest daughter's dad, which is fine because I didn't like him either, but she would constantly call DCS and was telling DCS that my daughter was saying that my child was being molested, was saying that she was being molested. I took her to the emergency room. They couldn't find anything. Because there were over 14 calls made within a few months, the judge took my daughter and put her in foster care. I will never forget that day. My dad had passed away earlier that year in July of 2018. And my dad was my best friend. And I hadn't had the chance to grieve him yet. And this was my first time of the holidays coming up of not having my dad. Then my daughter got took on November 30th. My birthday is December 8th. It made me feel like I was a worthless parent. It made me question why they left my other two children with me. If they were going to take one, why didn't you take all of them? So, the DCS started me with a therapist to come to my house, and she came twice a week. She really helped me through a lot, but it wasn't enough. My daughter, thankfully, was blessed with an amazing foster mom. She is still one of my good friends to this day. We talk to her basically every single day. I could not thank her enough for treating my daughter so amazing. She got to come back home, and I got full custody July of 2020. And even though I had her back, it still didn't fulfill me. It still lingered in my head that, I was worthless. If I wasn't worthless, then why did all these bad things keep happening to me? I felt like in 12 years at that point, I had been through more people had been through in their lifetime. I made it through almost being killed. I made it through being raped. I made it through my daughter getting took, but I still felt empty. I still felt like a terrible person. I had no love for myself. I had love from others around me, but not from myself. And I didn't feel like I was the best mom because I was suffering from depression. I didn't feel like I was being a good wife because I was suffering from depression. And in August 2020, I was watching the MTV Video Music Awards, and BTS performed Dynamite. and that was the first time I'd heard of BTS. And the song just made me happy. I liked it. So I got on YouTube and I started to search BTS. In my searches, I came across many of RM's speeches of urging us to speak ourselves, telling us to use BTS to love ourselves. I started looking further into their music. I would learn their music, learn the songs. I would, Google them and translate them to English. I've even begun learning Korean to be able to understand their music better. And within doing that, the messages that I receive from their music has taught me that I am somebody. It has taught me to not worry about what society thinks, and taught me to love myself. I was suicidal at one point, especially when my daughter was in foster care and I had no contact with her. And I have learned that I am somebody, and I can love myself, and I do love myself. I have gone from not caring to caring a lot about things like my appearance, from sitting in the house all day to actually being able to go out and enjoy myself. I was on 5 different medications up until a few months ago. I have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, with depression, with anxiety. I was on medication for depression and anxiety. I was on medication for night terrors. I was on medication for panic attacks and things of that nature. Honestly, when I start feeling like that, there's a certain BTS song for pretty much every mood I'm in that can calm me down. If I feel ugly, or if I feel down about myself, I know I can go to the Love Yourself album and play almost any song. My usual go-to song is Jen Epiphany. I know when I go to bed at night, I put in my earphones and I put BTS on shuffle, and that's what I fall asleep to. When I wake up in the morning, I start my day normally with Dynamite because that's my go-to song. And after that, I normally listen to because I feel like that song is telling me that I can knock down whatever obstacle is in my way. And I hope that everybody else out there can use BTS as well to love yourself and speak yourself.
사랑하고 싶어 흰 손 빛나는 나를 소중한 내 영혼을 이제